I'm here with Leslie Rogalski, author and jewelry designer, and we are talking about quick ways to work on your projects.
That's right. We all want to get to the end fast. So things that help us do things faster.
So we can make more of what we love doing.
Exactly.
All right.
The first thing here is to work with a glue syringe and a precision applicator to bring bling to something, because we like to do this to personalize what we do, right?
That's right.
I'm going to start with this little greeting card, which had nothing on it. I added these in the way that I'm doing now. I have put a heavy viscosity glue inside my syringe, and I've chosen from a range of tips in order to accommodate that glue, so it's a little thicker gauge.
Okay, so...
And I'm going to hold it in my hand, and I'm going to place the tip, pressing down and pulling up. Pressing down, pulling up.
So this is a really fast way to set crystals.
Very fast. I have a wet paper towel to keep it from drying too fast. And now I have a precision applicator tool. The wax tip will let me pick up the crystals. I have a very specific kind of tray. When you shake it, it flips the crystal so the shiny side's up. I'm going to lift it. I barely touch it. Put it down. And you'll notice these two little branches coming out for different sizes of crystals.
Yeah.
I can just kind of manipulate them a little bit so you can see how fast I can just place that right down.
Well, and I think when people know that you make jewelry, they kind of expect your life to be sparkly.
Exactly.
You know? Not that there's anything wrong with that.
And you can put these on other things too.
Yeah.
I have this vintage style piece here, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to press down and pull up.
This is a great way to embellish pieces that you find at the flea market or the vintage shop.
Oh my gosh, you can totally make them your own and really add your special touch. Again, pressing the precision applicator tip, it's a little waxy, and just placing them right there.
Nice.
Fast. Even beads. Other beads that have designs you want to add to them. Again, press down, pull up, press down, pull up. How about if I do a different size now? I have these different size beads.
Okay.
Crystals, and I shake my little tray, pick it up, place it, and I can use either of these arms to put it right in position. Right.
Handy.
Look how fun that is.
That was super fast. I think that also customizes anything that you're doing.
Anything.
You could add a birthstone color or
you can
whatever.
change different sizes, different colors. It'll work on lots of different surfaces, paper, metal, plastic, wood.
Cool.
So fast.
So what's your fast?
Bling.
So what's your next fast tip?
Okay, so my next fast tip is a way to put a clasp on the end of your bracelet without having to bead a clasp or really do a lot of extra engineering. These bead slide clasps slide onto a straight row of beadwork. So loom work is easy. You add an extra row and slide it right on. For peyote stitch, I have a tutorial that I've written to show how to modify it, because you know how those beads are staggered.
Right.
So this wouldn't slide on unless I square stitched an extra row of beads, which I've done here.
But this way you don't have to create that attachment point for a toggle or another type of clasp.
Nope, it's all there. So there's a little channel, and I'm going to work the bead slide over the size 11s that I have already added.
Okay. Can you use different size beads with this?
It goes up to size 8.
Okay.
So you can see I'm just very gently moving the beads into the bead slide.
Yeah, you want to make sure that everything's in perfect position as it goes through there.
You do.
Because this is your security.
That's right.
And you don't use any glue or anything.
There's no glue, and the channel is going over the space between the row that I just added and the row before it. So I'm actually being careful when I do this so that I don't cut into any of the beads.
Okay.
And there you go. Now, do you see this little tab here? I call them trapdoors. With the pliers, you can just gently fold that down, so like the other side, it'll be a nice clean end.
Those are great. This is a great tip because I think when you're doing loom work and peyote and all these various weavings, I mean, I don't have to tell you. You're the weaving
Don't you
expert.
just want to, but you want to just get to the end. I know, I have a friend who always just gives me her bracelets to finish. I'm like, no. You can see there's size 8s in here, so you have an extra row that you need to have on it with a straight line to go through that.
Yeah, it looks like there are different finishes and different platings.
Different sizes, different finishes, different textured designs on them.
Nice, and they come in different widths, so you can use them on a variety of your woven creations.
That's right, and you can see that you can even use a narrower one on a wider cuff by adapting the end.
Oh, nice. Very clever and fast.
Very fast.
Well, let's take a look at your next tip.
Okay.
I'll move this
I'll
forward.
let you do that.
Here it comes.
So this is a faster way to crimp, a nice crimp end. The traditional way uses pliers that has 2 notches in it and requires manipulation, turning 2 steps, and you need a crimp cover to make it look pretty, to make it look nice and professional. This pliers only has 1 notch in the nose, and it makes a rounded crimp, so you don't need a crimp cover.
Nice.
So that speeds up your process right away and makes it look really professional.
Okay.
I'm working with 0.018 wire, and you see I have 2 wires because I'm gonna fill in, I wanna fill in that crimp to really make it solid. So I'm gonna make sure that my crimp is positioned right in that little hole that I showed you. And I'm gonna squash down. Here's a tip, because I don't have really strong hands. I press against the table to make sure that I have pressure. Now take a look at this if you can. It looks like a little ravioli.
Right.
Right, but you can see it's starting to be rounded. I'm gonna turn this and I'm gonna put it back in the same notch.
And the notch is kind of a dome inside.
It's really rounded, and I'm
working toward that round bead shape.
Yes. And you can turn it a little bit, again in the same notch, to finesse that shape. And you have this lovely, really nice, functions all on its own crimp.
Well, and also you can use it as part of your design. So it's not just about function and attaching a clasp.
Oh no, it's aesthetic.
It's also becoming part of your piece.
Like a little bead. So because I have the 2 pieces of wire, and you have 2 pieces of wire, you're gonna just wanna snip that off close to the crimp, because that's just for the crimp. And if it's at the end, you can, I'm just using a wire clip. But I wanna show you what I did at the other end here.
Okay.
All right, first of all, what you were talking about being decorative, see how that's floating? Because everybody loves the look of those illusion necklaces,
It never goes out of style, yeah.
It doesn't, and you don't need crimp covers for these because the crimps themselves form little beads. So here I have my crimp at the end where I've left that little piece of wire just for you, so I can show you how you can just snip that off and have the end
perfectly finished.
like one of the necklaces I brought to show you.
Let's take a look at it. So this one with the fringe.
Yes.
You know what I love about this design, besides fringe, of course, being
Right,
my favorite thing? I love the beads at the top. So you put a crimp bead and a bead at the top and then ran it through the chain, and that is creating the foundation for your piece.
That's right, it adds a decorative element. You want to make sure that you've spaced your things and turned the chain evenly, and we all know that there's some challenges with working with chain, but it's so much fun.
And if you're working in production, you're selling your work at craft fairs, you know, so many of our folks in our community are paying for their hobbies.
That's true. We all want to find that extra little way to speed things up and still be professional. So the things that I've shown you all help to give that professional, faster finish.
All right, I love it. Thank you so much, Leslie.
Thanks, Katie.
You're welcome.